viewers. I'm ready to record another video. Yesterday's video, many of the comments that I got was that I should invest on the microphone. The microphone was not very clear, so I've adjusted a few things on the microphone using the control panel. And today's video, I want us to talk about Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is an application software which is a database. And a database is a collection of information that is related. Access allows you to manage your information in one database file. Within Access, there are four major objects that we are going to check. We are going to use tables, we will use queries, forms, and reports. So what is in store for a table? Tables store your data in your database. Queries ask questions about the information stored in your tables. And then forms allows you to view stored data in your table, and also you can use forms to add more records to your table. Then the last one that we have is called reports, which allows you to print data based on queries or tables that you have created. So the four major objects are tables, queries, forms, and reports. And I'm going to show you the resources I'm going to use in Access. So the first thing is to access the Microsoft Access. You come to search here, you type Access. So this is the app for Access. You click it, and then it comes here. In my time zone, it is good morning. It gives me a blank database, so I'll choose that one there. And then this one here, I can give it a name. Let's say this is the umbrella name that is going to house tables, queries, forms, and reports. It is an umbrella that will enclose the four objects. So I can give it a tutorial. Let's just call it tutorial. And then I click on create. So this is the umbrella. It's called a tutorial with the extension acc.db. So the first thing, the object that you see is called a table. So I'll come and show you how to do this. But what I wanted was to give you the resources I'm going to use. So let me minimize this so that also you can practice on your end. So I'll go to Microsoft Google Chrome. And then there's a link that I normally use to share the resources. So if I type here tiny.cc, this is to shorten the URL, Uniform Resource Locator, tiny.cc. If I press enter, you can see I've prepared some links. I've shortened them using the tiny.cc. So this one, the first one here, is what we can use. It is tiny.cc /year 10, year in short, year 10, and then db. So this is what we are supposed to type on the URL. So I'll open a new tab. Let me see again, year 10.db. So I'll come here. Then I type tiny.cc /YR 10 db. It has appeared there. There it is. If I press enter, it will take me to a Google Drive because I had already hosted the files in the Google Drive. So this is the files that I'm talking about. The first one is a comma separated value, the extension. The second one is also comma separated value. The next one is a rich text file, comma separated, all these files. And there are some which are images like JPG. So those are the files. The last one is the question paper. So if I double click here, this is the question paper. So this question paper can download it by clicking here, you download, you'll find it in the downloads. So the files that the question paper will require us to use, this is a past paper, 2022, May 2022, a Cambridge paper, which consists of, it's a paper 2, which consists of document production, it consists of data manipulation, which is now Microsoft Access, and presentation, which is PowerPoint. So my interest is this one, data manipulation, the one in the middle here. So the first one is Microsoft document production. I'm not interested in this for today's video. I'm talking about this one here. So the files they want us to download is j22bookings.csv, and another one also they want us to download is j22yachts.csv. So these two files you have to download them so that you can practice with me how to manage Microsoft Access database. So let me close this paper. So there are two files here, j22 bookings. So this file, it is important you download it. So what you do, you come and click here, and then you click on download. And there was another one for Yacht. After you have downloaded that, the second file they were talking about was this one here. So also this one you're supposed to come here from the Google Drive. You click on these three buttons, and then also you download it. Once you download, it will take you to a folder called the downloads. Where do you get it? You go to this PC, you double click on this PC, and then you go to a section called downloads. It's between desktop and documents, so downloads. So you can see there is this file, j22one yacht.csv. I downloaded it sometimes back. And also there's j221 bookings.csv and the question paper. So let me open the question paper first. So all these things were downloaded, the three, and I've given you the link where you can find them. So let me double click on this one to open it. It's a PDF. So let us start systematically. So our task 3, is telling us it's about database. You are now going to prepare some reports. You're going to prepare some reports. Dates are to be imported in the format of day, month, and year. That is DMY, day, month, and year. Make sure all currency value display the same currency symbol and are set to 0 decimal places. Those are the instructions. Then the first task, using a suitable database package, import the file. So it means .csv is not a file within Microsoft Access. This is associated, is a generic file that can be opened in Microsoft Excel. It's not an original file for Excel because the file for Excel is .xls, but this one is CSV, comma separated value. So they are separated, most of the items they are separated by comma. That's why it's called comma separated value. So we need to import it. To import it means to bring it into Access. And once we import it to Access, it has to meet the following criteria, because a table is made up of records, is made up of fields. These are the fields we are going to get in this from this file j22bookings.csv. The first field is called title. It should be a text. First name should be text. Last name should be text. Custom ID, number. Street address should be text. So it has to match this criteria. And then the date should be in this format. I can see there is MM. So means August, AUG. It has to meet that up to the last. And then the unique field in this list should be this. We should set the custom ID as the primary key. The primary key is normally the unique, which cannot be repeated in any other record. So every table must have a primary key, and a primary key is a unique field whereby each record has got its own unique ID, or especially admission number or your passport number cannot be the same like somebody else. Your identification is called identity card. You must have a serial number that is unique. Even your telephone number can be unique because you cannot share the same telephone number. So even a telephone number can be a primary key. So how do you import? So the first task is for us to learn how to import this file. So remember we downloaded it. It is now in a place called downloads. So Access, we had already open Access. So what I'll do, I'll come here. There are so many things that are pinned, so Access not. So I'll remove others like this one. Let me unpin this one. Also, which one can I unpin? I can also unpin PowerPoint. I can also, now I can see everything now on my taskbar. There are so many. So let me open Access. So I need to import that file, J22. Let me see it again, J22 bookings. So what I'll do to import a file, it is an external thing. So on the menu up here, we have got file, home, create. I'll go to external because I need to import it. So click on this. This area is to export. So I'm not interested in this part because this is exporting. So I'll go to this part where there's import and link. So I'll click on new data source. After clicking on new data source from file, then I'll go to a text file because it's separated by commas. So I'll choose text file. Once I come here, I have to tell the computer that the file I'm looking for is stored in a place called downloads. So I'll click on browse and then I go to downloads systematically and then I look for J22 bookings. So J22 bookings, this is what they wanted us, not Yacht will come later. J22 Yacht will come later. So I'll click on open. So I can see here, I've already told .csv, I've already told the computer that the file I'm importing is this one here. Then simply I click on OK. Now I can see the commas that I was talking, the CSV, title, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, separated by commas. So here what you're supposed to do, you take the first option, not the second option, the first option, which is delimited. Characters such as comma or tab separated each field. So this is what you take, and then you click on next. And then here you have to tell the computer that in this list that I have here, because this is a field, Mr. is a field, Finlay is a field, Cosa is a field, 1580 is a field, all these are fields. So fields put together form record, but a single cell is a field, but it has got titles. So the column title for this one is title. The column title for this one is first name. The column title for this one is last name. I have to tell the computer that this first row is not a record. It contains field name. So I'll click here so that this one is separated from the rest. So these are the records which are below. It's important you highlight this so that you make sure that each column has got a column heading separated from the records. And then you click on next. Here, don't do anything on this area here. Just glance and then click on next. So when I'm here now, it's telling me now I should choose which field, which column will represent the custom ID. And from what I can see, the list, the question here was telling us down here, set customer ID as the primary key, because it is a unique field which cannot be repeated in any other record. So I'll come here and then I click choose my own primary key, and then I know it is this one here because every number is unique: 1580, 1322, 1323, 1330, 1338, 1340, 13. There's no other record that will have the same. So I'll come here and choose custom ID. So it has jumped there. And then after that, go to a place called advanced so that you try and see that whatever you're importing meets the criteria that we were given. So I'll go a bit slowly now for you to understand. I'll click on advanced. Once I'm in advanced here, I need to open the question paper and see. So I'll do it systematic. Title, first name, last name. Those are text, text, text. So those are text, text, text. The first three are text, text, text. So I'll come here. So the first one, title, is a short text. So if I click here, these are the options that you can choose for the fields. So it is a short text. So I'll just leave it to remain as a short text. The second one is short text. The third one is short text. Up to there, the first three is short text. Let me go to the question again. Now the fourth one is a number, and a number is an integer. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4 up to telephone is also text. And remember, telephone is normally a number and they're giving text. I'll explain. So one, this is a number. Let me say access. Let me go back to access. So after the first three, custom ID is a number. So I'll give it as an integer. Duplicate. Okay, I'll just leave that one. And then the other four is short text. Street address short text, area is short text, and also postcode is short text. And then the telephone, we were told to be short text also. Somebody is asking somewhere, how comes I'm choosing telephone to be short text? In computer, a number that starts with 0 cannot be recognized as a number. Computer will not accept it as a number. That's why it's 0. Let me open Excel and explain why it is like that. So if I come here, I zoom here a bit. Let me close this. If my number, for instance, I say 0723 66 48 0 0. If I press enter, this number will change automatically. The 0 will be truncated because it will not be recognized as a number. So you can see the 0 has already disappeared. So what if, because most numbers, let's say for example 7, numbers are normally aligned to the right. What if I take it to the left and then I edit now, I put 0, and then I press enter. Still is not being taken. So we have to at the back of our mind, we know it is a number, but we play around with the computer by telling it is a text so that it can accept the 0 in front. That's why telephone is normally regarded as short text in this scenario. So let me go back and see what is happening here on the question paper. So we have reached telephone. So we have got date and time. So date and time, they told us to be DMY. So I'll come to access date. So this date and time, but we are going to make sure that up here it's DMY, but we are going to work on it again further later. I'm still on the design view. And then that is departure date. The question is still under departure date. The next one is days. So days should be number, and then the last one, which is yacht ID, should be text. So number and then text. So here, under days here, I'll change it to be an integer. An integer is a number without decimals. And then the last yacht ID was what? Let me confirm again. It was just text. So I'll leave it as short text. So I've finished giving conditions to the imported file so that it can match the criteria that when it is imported, it should look like. So I'll come and click on OK. So the only technical part was the telephone, which was a number, but you have changed it to short text because 0 cannot start a number in computer. So I'll click on OK. After clicking on OK, I'll move to next. And then after next, I'll just click on finish. And then I click on close. So this table that is down here, I can now delete it. I don't need this one here because I have the imported one. So I'll right click. You right click, you get a menu, and then you click on delete. And then you click on OK. So that one, is it going really? No, let me close this one first. You have to close it before you can, now it is gone. So if I double click on this one here, I have a very big records. In fact, if you check down here, I have 979 records that are imported. So what I mean, the first column is title, the second column is first name, the last name, then custom ID, which was the primary key. And if you want to know that it is a primary key, you have to come and switch. You can right click here and then you go to the design view, or you simply come here and go to design view from here. So this is design view and this is the datasheet view. Or you right click here and then go to design view. There are so many ways of doing it. I prefer using API. I'll click here and then I go to design view. So this key that is here tells me this is the primary key. Let me go back to datasheet view. So datasheet view, this is the old table, and you can even scroll to see how big it is. It goes up to yacht ID, which was the text, and this was number. So we have met the criteria of the question, but there's only one part that I need to clarify. The date should be in this format: 12th hyphen August. August is AUG. Those are 3 characters, and then 2022. So DMM and then triple M and then double Y. So how do you do that? Because if you check the date here, is not in that format. There's no September, there's no August, there's no November. The abbreviation N or V for November. September is SCP. So what you need to do, you right click here and then go to design view. Click on the departure date. Was it date? Yeah, it is date. And then after clicking on the departure date, come to down here where there are so many field properties. Click on this format. After clicking on format, come to this pull down menu and choose the format they want. I can see the short format, medium format, sorry, which has got N or V. That is not this one or not this one here, this one here. So this is what they wanted. And then save the changes you have done. You have to click on save. And then still right click here and then go to, I said you can even use this one here. You click here. So if I look at the date now, you can see the format where it is now. The format has now changed. This thing is a very huge record. Can you imagine that there are some companies like Safaricom which has got over 15 million records that somebody should manage? If you're employed to manage, or maybe Kenya Power in our country. Kenya Power, almost everybody is connected to the grid. So they keep such kind of records. Some big hospitals also have got big records. Even schools have got this kind of records. A record is this. A row. A row is a record. This one is row, I'm in record 2. If I click here, I'm in record 3. So this record, Mr. is made up of text. Christopher is made up of text. Washington is made up of text. This is number, like that. So up to there. So this date. Telephone, we said it is a text so that it can accommodate 0. If you could have put a number, this 0 could not be there. And when you try to dial that number without a 0, it will say incomplete number. That's why we changed it to text. I hope you understand why telephone was made to be text. Now let's see what the question is asking. Is there another condition? We have met all the conditions that are there. And then they're telling us to save the data. So what I'll do, I'll right click here. I click on save, right click here, I close the imported file. So that is how to import the file. Now the next thing is now they're telling us to import the file j22yacht.csv as a new table in your database, as a new table. So which means they are going to be 2. We are not appending, we are just adding it so that the 2 are together. It's good to understand that as a new table. Sometimes you can be asked to import it as to append so that you add it to the other J22 bookings, but this one as a new table. And there are so many conditions here. They can see the length they're giving us, it should be 2 decimals. And then the currency, which is the day rate, should be in 0 decimal places. So these two, they are additional conditions. So let me show you how to, the same method we used to import. So I'll go back to access, and then I'll go to external data. Because I'm importing, I'm not using exporting section here. I'll come to new data source, which is here. Then I go to from file, then I take a text file. So a text file, import data in a delimited or fixed width text. This is very important, this one here. So you take text file, and then we tell the computer that we have downloaded it from the tiny.cc. Remember, the tiny.cc was giving us options of downloading. So I'll click on browse, then I go to downloads. Make sure that you're in downloads. I can see here I'm already in downloads, but to confirm downloads is here. Then now I'm talking about Yacht, and then I'll click on open. Once I click on open, I can see it is written here. You have to confirm .csv, and then now I'm importing it as a new table. I'm import the source data into a new table in the current database, not to append or to link. So this is also very important to check, and then you click on OK. Once you are there, I told you because it is comma separated value, you take the delimited character such as comma, and then you go to next. And then here also you tell it that the first row is separated, it contains the column headings. So it is now, there's a line which has partitioned that. And then after that, you go to a place called next. Here you don't do anything on this scenario. Go to next, and then here they're telling us to choose our primary key. So which is our primary key for this one here? They're telling us set yacht reference field as the primary key, the unique key. So I'll come here, so I'll choose the yacht ref, which is this one, the unique key which cannot be repeated by any other record. And then I go to advanced. So under advanced here is where I need to put all the conditions. So I'll start by again checking the question. So the first four, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are text. So the first four, one short text, short text, short text, short text. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to the fifth one. Those are short text. Now I'm in a place called build. Let me check what is in build. Build is a number. So I'll come here, build, I'm going to give it an integer, which is just a number without decimals. Then I'm going to length. Length, I can see length has got decimals. So a number which has got decimals, in computer we call it double, not an integer. An integer is a number without decimals, but with the decimals we call it double. So I'll leave it as double. That is very important. That is length. Now I'm going to see what is in cabins. So let me check. Cabin, toilets, and guests. Those are numbers. Those three are numbers. So those I'm going to put them as integers. So this one I'm going to put it as an integer. This one also I'll put it as an integer, and then guest also I'll put it as an integer without decimals. And then the last one, which is day rate. Day rate, they're saying number stroke currency, because it's a rate. I think they're going to calculate something. So and it should have 0 decimal. This was 2 decimals. So I'll put it as currency, because this one you're talking about money. So I'll change it to what? To currency. So I'll leave it as currency. So in my question here, there are two things, 0 decimals and 2 decimals. I'll come back to that one when I finish setting up the excess. So after that, I'll go and click on OK. And then I move to next. Here, I don't do anything. I just click on finish. And then I click on close. So I have my yacht, j22yacht.csv here. So the two files are now, they are the two tables that I have. They are separated, they are different. So if I click on yacht here, I can see there are so many things here. There was something about the currency. They're talking about currency to have 0 decimals. This currency should have 0 decimals, because if you look at the question here, let me work on this 0 decimal first. And then also this one here should have 2 decimal places, length. So currency and length. So I'll right click here, go to design view, and then there is length. So this length, I'll come down here to a place called decimal places. And then I make sure that I change it to 0 decimals, and then the format that it should take, it should be fixed. It should be fixed. The length was supposed to have 2 decimal places, if I'm not wrong. Let me check the question again. So length should be 2 decimal places. Good. So let me adjust that. I've already adjusted and I've said let it be fixed. So if I right click here and save, and then I right click and check the datasheet view for length, so you can see now length, all of them have 2 decimal places, because I fixed it to 2 decimal places. All the records which are all there. So it's going to be this one, the total records is 119. So I've changed that one to this. So the currency also should be 0 decimal. So the same procedure, right click, go to design view, and then day rate. So the day rate here, the decimals here, I'll make sure that that one is now 0. And then here, I can say fixed. And then right click on it, save it, right click, check the datasheet view. So you can see now the decimals have gone. So it is just 0. Let me confirm something on the design view for the day rate. So here, let me see if I remain it as currency and I put here to be 0 decimals. Let's see what happens. I save it and then I check. So the currency is back, the currency symbol is back, but the decimals are gone. So I was just trying to bring the currency back, but I removed the decimals. But this is 2 decimals. So also that one, I think I've met the conditions of importing this file as per the conditions given here. 2 decimals, 0 decimals, the primary key, which is the yacht reference. Let me confirm that one is correct also. Right click, go to design view, check where this key is. It's on the Riach reference. That is also correct. So what else? So the records looks to be well displayed. If I check them here, yet they look to be accurate. So the next task in database is to take a screenshot evidence of the table structure showing the primary key, field names, and data type. Place this in your evidence document. So sometimes if you're working with database, you have to prove that you met the conditions of importing. So that one, you have to prepare an evidence document. Evidence document should be prepared in Microsoft Word. So this Microsoft Word, I click on the blank document, and because it is my evidence document, I need to put a header so that somebody will know it is me who was doing it. Even if I'm working in Safaricom or I'm working in a big hospital or a school, name it. So I'll go to insert, then I'll go to header, then I'll take this one here. So here, I'll type my name, depending on how it should look like. Here, I can say this is my evidence document, and then here maybe I can put the date when I did the work. So I can choose a short format or a medium format than like the one they gave us. There was a medium format they gave us. It was looking like this. So it is 15 September 2024. Then I click OK. So here it shows my name. It shows it's an evidence document and the date that I'm working on the document. Then I click OK. So here, they might want me to evidence 1. So evidence 1, I'll go to this part here. Let me start with the yacht, or maybe let me close the yacht. I go to the first one. The first one was this one. So I'll right click here and then go to design view. So I need to capture this to prove that I did it in the right way. And the primary ID is here. Was there any condition down here? There wasn't any condition down here. So to take a screenshot, the shortcut key is window key next to the alt key on the keyboard and next to FN function key. So you press the window key down, shift and S, and then you can take a clear picture. You take even the file name so that somebody knows that that is bookings. Then you come up to somewhere. I could have gone down here if there were some conditions down there, but this is up to here. And then I go to Microsoft Word and then Control V to paste the evidence. So that one I've done it very clearly. I press enter. Then I go back to access. Then I can close this one because I've taken the evidence. Now I go and open the yacht, J22 yacht. Also this one I go to design view. So the conditions which are there, some of them are hidden because length was having that, and also there was day rate, but you cannot take all that. So let me click on length just to, and then I take a picture. So I want to take a prolonged picture bit. I take plus the file name up to there just to show that I did that. And then I go to Microsoft Word. Also this one I can say Control V. So that's the evidence for the two. Very clear evidence documents. Then I press enter. And then I save this document so that it does not disappear. Then I can say more options. I want to save it in a particular place. Let's say I want to save it in this PC in my download so that they're together. So I'll go up here. I leave it on the download. So evidence document. Then I click on save. So it is in the downloads folder. I'll be able to remember that. So my evidence has got the header there, very nice. And then let me proceed to the question again. So I've already done that. Screenshot evidence of the table structure in your database. They're giving me 6 points for doing that. Wonderful. Then the next thing, they're telling me to create a one-to-many relationship between the yacht ref in the yacht table and the yacht ID in the booking table. So they want me to link the two tables using these fields. There is yacht ref in the yacht table and the yacht ID in the booking table. So it is from the yacht to booking. And then take a screenshot evidence for that also, that you have created a relationship of one to many. So how do you do that? So these two tables, let me close this one, they should be linked, because if it was one table, it could be a crazy table to manage. That's why sometimes you need to have different tables and then you link them. And to link two tables, you go to a place called Database Tools. and then you go to a place called relationships, and then you add the first table, and then you click on the second table, you add it, and then you close, and then you expand this to see the fields which are inside, like this. So the question was saying, I can even interchange them like this, so that I remember they were saying yacht table and then booking table. So in the yacht table, I'm going to yacht reference and then yacht ID. So when I come here, yacht reference is here, and then in the bookings table, I go to yacht ID. So yacht ID is the last one here. So they wanted me from the yacht table, yacht J22 yacht, I take the yacht reference and then I drag it and put it on the yacht ID in the J22 bookings. And then the kind of relationship they wanted is one to many. I can see this is highlighted. And then it is yacht reference to yacht ID. Then I click on what? Create. So I've created a relationship between these two. And they wanted me to prove that I've done that. So you're supposed to come here, you'll click here, right click, and then click on edit relationship, so that you have got this kind of thing to prove that it is one to many, and it is the yacht ref in the yacht J22 yacht and the yacht ID to this. So you need to take a picture of this. So to take a picture of this, I'll come and click on, first of all, let me go to my let me see. So I can say this one is going to be evidence 2, which is relationship. Which kind of relationship? One to many. Then I press enter. So I need to bring a picture of what I've done here. So I need to take a picture. So I'll come here, Control Shift and S. Then I take this up here to show its relationship. I come like this. So this is a screenshot. And then I'll go to Microsoft Word and then Control V to paste. And then Control S to save, because I'd already saved it. So that is, so I've gone to second page. Second page, maybe I'll need evidence 3. That was evidence 2. The first one was evidence 1. Then evidence 2, which is one to many, which can be seen here. And then now I'm now in evidence 3. So if I go back, I check here, they give me 1 mark for that. It's a free mark. And then I come here, they're telling me enter the following details as a new record in the table. So when you're told to enter new record, you can use a form, or simply you can just enter the records in the table, and it is a new record. So if you go to Microsoft Access, let me close this. So I'll click OK here, and then I close this. Then I click on save. You have to save it. So which table are we adding this? You have to ask yourself. So read the question again. Enter the following details as a new record in the bookings table. Very crucial. In the bookings table. So I'll come here, open bookings, and then if I want to add a new record, because all the records that I have is 979. There is this part here, the last thing here that you can see, which tells you new blank record. So it will be the 980. So if I click here, now I'm in an empty space there. So they're telling me to type that record. But since I have this, so it is Mr. A1. So I'll type here Mr. and check the caps, please. So Mr. Then I press tab. Then I type what? A1. Then tab. And then what is the next thing? Brown. So I have to come here and type what? Brown. How do you write brown? Brown. And then you tab. So imagine entering records for so many people. If you are in a busy organization, entering these records can be something else. But the beauty, you can have the paper printed out, so you don't have to flip the screen. So I'll click here and then copy. I'm trying to be a bit lazy. Is there a copy here really? So if I select this, and then I click on copy, then I come here. So my work will be just to Control V, and then I come here, this one here. So I select it like this, right click. Where is copy? So I don't want to type, I'm a bit lazy typing copy. Then I come here, I click here, Control V, and then I come here. I'm now in area, so you have to be very keen which the area copy. I come here, Control V. I'm now in postcode. So the postcode will be, this is the postcode. Also this one you copy it. So I'm trying to Control V. I'm in the telephone. So the telephone starts with the 0. So you made it to be a text if you can remember well. Copy. You come here, you Control V. And then the next one, I'll come to a place called departure. The format also changed. Remember, we did the format. So it matches what I'm pasting here. If you had not done this condition, it could have messed you up seriously. And then the days, which is the days? The days is here. So that one also you copy it. But in the real sense, you're not supposed to copy and paste. You're supposed to be typing. It's only that I don't have this question paper printed for me. So what I'll do here, I'll take this also. I copy and then I come here and I paste. So once you do that, it's important to click on save, very crucial. So the records I have is now 980 records. And this table here, it has got how many records? 119. So these are very huge database. Okay, let's move on. So they're saying check your data for entry. Check your data entry for errors. Yeah, if you're typing, you can make errors. Mine, I was copying and pasting. So if I just come here and it was under bookings, I think. It was under bookings. So you're supposed to check for errors. In case you typed it wrongly, it's important that you check for errors. This part you can be able to expand so that you see them clearly. Yeah, these records you can see. So you're supposed to check data entry. By checking, you just use your eyes to check. And then you save, which I've already done. Those are 2 marks. And then they're coming here. There's a big condition they're going to give us. Using the fields from both tables, produce a tabular report. So they want us to produce a tabular report that selects the records where yacht name includes the text C. And the days is 10 or more. So these are conditions so this is the query. The query will ask the table to bring certain information because the records are so many. So you query by asking questions, like for example, the yacht name, the field yacht name should have only records with the text C only. And the number of days is 10 and above, meaning from 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 and below should not be there. And then it contains a new field called charter cost, which we did not have in the table. And is going to be, which is calculated at the runtime. This field will calculate the values of days multiplied by the day rate. So there is a field we are going to make that is going to do this calculation. And then display the charter cost field as currency with currency with 0 decimals. And then now when you're doing this kind of thing, I think the best thing is to start from here. So that after doing this is when we do the first ones here. Because when you're creating a report, you first of all have to create a query. So I'll go to access, and then let me close this. Also I close this. So I click on save the changes, and then I go to create, and then I go to query design. So the query design, there are 2 tables, of course, I'm using. So I'll add the first one, which is booking. Then I add this, and then they are related. It's important to expand so that you see all the fields like this. So after expanding like this, if I come here now, I need to make this one smaller so that I can be able to, it's not easy. So what do I do? Okay, let me just put it this way so that I can be able to see. So what is here? It's not easy. So let me just do it slowly. I wanted to have 2. So it shows only the fields, and they are talking about the 2 tables. So we have got title and first name and last name. So let us do those three first. Title, first name, and last name. So when I'm here, I'll look for title. Title is found in bookings. And then it has jumped here. It is bookings. It's telling me when the table where it is. And then first name and last name. Let me check the second criteria. And then telephone and departure date. After last name, we have got telephone and departure date. So telephone and departure date. So far, all of them are in bookings. So I'm in departure date. I'm going back here. And then departure port and yacht name. Depart port and yacht name. So depart port, where's depart port? Depart port is here. And yacht name, where is it? And yacht name. Those two are from the other side. Let me see. Departure port and yacht name. Am I doing the right thing? Departure. Did I put departure date really? Let me see. Yeah, departure date is here. Then departure port and yacht name. And then the next one is length, days, and day rate. Length, days, and day rate. I'm trying to master. So they want length. Length is found where? My eyes. Length. And then after length, I've forgotten. After length, I go to days and then day rate. So I'll go to days. Where is days? Days and then day rate. So you can see I'm borrowing fields from the two tables to enrich my query. And then I'll make a report. So after day rate, what else are they asking? After day rate, they are asking for the charter cost. So charter cost, they told us the charter cost contains a new field called charter cost, which we don't have in both tables. So how is it written? I want to type it. I want to make sure that I type it that it's written here. So I'll copy it. But in the real sense, you can type. It's only that you type capital C and capital C for cost, and then you put an underscore. So because I don't have that charter cost in both the two tables, I'll come here and then I'm supposed to type it. So charter cost, this is how it should be. And this charter cost, it's not in, that's why the table is not, it's not showing which table it's coming from. It's a new field. And they told us something now, that after arranging it in this order, yeah, do not group the data. I'm not going to group it there, they have told me. But this charter cost, they told us it's a calculated at a runtime. This field will calculate the value of days multiplied by day rate. So days times day rate. So it is a multiplication. So when I'm doing this now, let me expand here for you to see. Let me move this and I scroll. I wish I could expand. I could zoom in. So here I need to do some calculations. So I'll put a full colon. In computer, you don't put an equal sign here in Access. You put a full colon. Hey, I need to look for my glasses because now things are becoming thick. And then they said it is days. I'm supposed to put square brackets, but let me don't use square brackets. I want the computer to do it for me. So I'm going to type days, these days. The spelling must be correct. So capital D-A-Y-S. And then multiplication sign is this one here. And then day rate. The day rate is this one here. So I'll type here day underscore and then capital R rate, like that. And then now if I click down here, the square bracket should appear if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the square bracket automatically appears. And then the other condition they were giving us, so it's going to multiply days time rate. That's why we're going to get that field on the query. So the other conditions they were giving us, if I scroll back, I've put already a formula in the last one by putting a colon. After putting the colon, after the charter cost, I multiply days times rate. The other condition they were giving us here, that the yacht name should include the text C, meaning that it can have any other name, but the name C must also feature in that name. So I'll go back here. So this one here, you go to a place called criteria, and then you look for yacht name. Yacht name is here. So you click this place that corresponds with the criteria. And then you put an asterisk, meaning any name, it starts with any name, so long as the name C appears anywhere. The name C appears anywhere. I'm using wildcards so that the name C can appear anywhere in that name, but it can include any other name. I hope you have understood. Asterisk means any other character can be used, but also the word C must appear. And then here they're telling us days is 10 or more. The condition days should be 10 or more. So I go to a place called days, then under criteria, I put it's greater than or equal to 10, meaning that from 10 and above, greater than 10 or equal to 10, but 9 is eliminated and below. So equal to 10 and above. Let me see again. 10 or more. That is the condition. You put greater than or equal to 10. And then what else are they telling us? So I've done this. I've done this. I've done the calculations. And then this one here displays the currency. The currency should be the charter cost. The charter cost should have 0 decimals. So let me go to query here, I see. So this charter cost here, I'll click on charter cost here. Then I go to property sheet, which is up here. Property sheet. So this property sheet, let me expand it a bit. I see what it entails. So when I come here, the format, this format should be, it should be currency. Currency. What else should be there? And then the currency, what are they talking about? Let me see. The currency with 0 decimals. Currency with zero decimals. So that is the description. And where do I get these parameters to get for input mask? What is input mask? No. They are talking about the description. Is that parameters? No, not there. I'm looking for under property sheet. I think I'll check after putting currency. I'll check whether it is fixed. So the caption, there's no caption there. So let me see how it will go. So once I do that, let me see any other thing that should be done. Sort the data in ascending order and descending order of departure. That one you'll do when you're doing the report. So up to here, I think I've tackled up to here, going up like this. So let us run and see how things up. So I'll come here. So to run, I'll be on the query design, and then I click on run. So if I click on run here, so it has run. But you can see the currency, it has got 2 decimals. So I'll go back to design view here. And then this currency, it was supposed to have decimal places here. It was supposed to be 0 decimals. And then here, I put it to be currency. And then I run it again. Was it supposed to be fixed currency? Yeah, this one is giving me the calculation has taken place. Yes. And how many records do I have? Only 13. And there was something about the Yacht type. Where is the Yacht type? The Yacht name, sorry. The Yacht name, the word C is appearing. I think the word C. C. It can have any other name, but it's the name C appears. And then, so what is left is to play around with this, the currency. So I'll go back to design view, and then here I've put 2 decimals. Here, should I be put it to be fixed so that it can understand what I'm talking about? Decimal places is still appearing. So I'm not hitting this one here. Where is it? With 0 decimal places. The charter cost as currency with 0 decimal places. So let me struggle with it again. Design view. Decimal places. It's 0. And then here, let me expand this so that I can see what is showing there. Here, if I put these things, they have, if even if fixed has got. This decimal thing, I need to check it properly. It's giving me headache. Is it standard? Euro has got decimal. If I choose your currency, and then the input mask under property sheet. So was I here? Let me see property sheet. Decimal places, I put it to be 0. And then I should save it. And then after saving it, I run. So I've nailed it at the end. It is now nailed. The decimals has now worked. It gave me a lot of problems trying to figure out how it should be done. But the rest are now okay. I've met the conditions. And the number of days, remember the number of days, they told us the number of days here, it's supposed to be 10 or more. So if you check on my query that I've created, let me save the query again just to be sure. The number of days, you can see this one is 10 and more than 10. So that is the condition. And remember, these are on the design view, this is what I did. You can see here like C, and then here greater than or equal to 10, and then we played around with the new field. We calculated and played around with the decimals. So it has got the currency and it has got the 0 decimals. So far so good. So if I come back here and say datasheet view, this is now what we need to use to prepare the report, because these two were too huge. So the query came and asked questions on the two tables which are related, and we got 13 records, which meets the C, the yacht name C. The days is 10, 10, 10, and a new field that has been created. So if I proceed on here, they're telling us these ones you have done it. And now sort your data, the page orientation to be this, it fits a single page and prints on 2 pages, includes this text, and then calculates all this. So this one can be done in the reports, starting from here, going downwards. So remember, I told you when you're doing a query, you start with this part, you arrange all the fields on the query, and then after doing the fields on the query, you do the calculation on the field that they want you to calculate, which is this one. And then after that, you put these two conditions on the criteria. And then after that, now you can create the report. So the report, you're going to create it from the query that you have obtained. And this is the query. I can even close it because I'm very sure I saved it. So I close it. So this is the query. So to create a report, I'll come to here, and then I'll go to the report wizard. So I'll create what is called a report wizard. So I'll click on report wizard, and then the report wizard, I'm creating it from the query. So the query that I made was this query here. You can see it's query 1. So I choose query 1. And then, because it is the fields that are here, remember the fields which are here, even the charter cost that we made is here, I take all of this. And then I go to next. All of them have been jumped by using the double arrow key instead of using 1, 1, 1, 1 up to the last. So I go to next. Then it asks me, do you want to add any grouping levels? So there's a question, there's a part here they were saying, there was a place here that I talked about grouping. Was there a grouping? Contains, let me see. Sort the data in ascending order. Is there a place called grouping really? Do not group. Yeah. Do not group the data. So when I'm here now, I'm not supposed to group the data. So you can see it is not grouped. If it was grouped, it could have shown me. So I'm not grouping it using any other field. So what I'll do here, I'll just go to next. And then they're telling me you can sort your records. So sorting, I'll not do it. I'll do it after I make the report, because the question was asking me somewhere here, sort the data in ascending order of yacht and descending order of departure time. That one I'll do it when I'm doing the report. As a page orientation of landscape, that one. And then it has got this heading. The title should be this. So I'll copy this. So when I continue here, So I'm not grouping it. I'm not sorting it at this particular juncture. So I'll go to next. And remember, there was a place it was telling us tabular. So if I take you back here, you have to be very keen. Prepare a tabular. So you can see I'm moving up and down just to be sure, tabular. And then they're telling me the page orientation should be landscape. So when I'm here, I choose tabular and I choose landscape. And then I click on next. Here you have to be very, very smart. And then they're telling me, do you want a title? So the title, I'll remove this one here. And then I type the title they have given me. The title was given here. This is the title. And then they're telling me, and after that, we're going to do the rest. And then as a label, there are so many things here. So I'll come here, and then I say modify. I don't say preview, modify. So it has got this title, See Fleet Booking. Then I click on finish. So I'm in this place here. And it's called the design view of the report. So this one here, I can select it and prolong it a bit and make it big a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, something like that. And then I can also center it. I can make it bold, underline. That is my heading. You can still make it bigger if you want. So let's say 28. Also here I can pull this one down a little bit. So I'm trying to modify my report a little bit. So what else are they asking me to do? It is a landscape, and then we are supposed to sort it in the order of yacht name. Ascending order of yacht name and descending order of departure date. Very, very tricky scenarios. So once I'm here, there are issues to be done here about the sorting and everything. But before I do that, let me see what else I can do. So if I come to page setup here, there is format, report design. I'm trying to play around with to see a few things here. If I click here, if I click here, I can see there is sorting and grouping. So I'll click on sorting and grouping. So add a sort. So I right clicked and got that. So I'll click on add sort. So what was the question? The question was saying, where is it? Sort in ascending order of yacht name. So yacht name, ascending order. So if I come here, the yacht name, where is the yacht name? Yacht name should be in ascending order. Ascending order, is it A to Z? A on top, ascending. Ascending. Hey, here you have to be very keen. A at the top, ascending. Hey, what is ascending and what is descending? So A at the top, ascending. And then I'm going to add another sort order. So the other sort order should be departure date in descending order. So if I click here under sort, so it's what? Let me see again. Departure date. Departure date. So I'll come here. So departure date, descending order from the oldest to the newest. So that is oldest to the newest. So I've done these two of groupings. Yeah. So it was you right click and then you get the sorting thing from there. Then the next thing they are going to ask me now is I've done this one. I've not grouped. They're going to calculate the total number of bookings and places this and places this at the end of the report formatted as an integer. So calculate the total number of bookings. Total number of bookings. So if I come here, where is that field for bookings now? Bookings, departure. Let me see. Day rate, telephone number. number of bookings, places. So I'll take any field, let's say last name, departure, dates, departure dates, bookings. They want us me to calculate a field for bookings. Day rate. Let me read the question again so that I be able to do the bookings. Calculate the number of bookings at the end. So if I have to do that, let me see the table first, how the table is looking. So if I come here, they're talking about bookings. Postal code, days, 14 days, 10 days. So is it under days? Because I'm wondering which booking are they talking about. So let me close this one. So where are days here? Days. So if I click on days here, these days, and they want me to do the calculations on bookings. So if I'm down here, I need to have that thing for booking. So is it under build? It's an expression code. So let me see under page setup here, report design. There's a place where I need to do some formulas to get the bookings, or the groupings was here and whatever. So I need to do bookings. I need to know the number of days. So is this day rate? So these days. So once I have that, there's a place I need to calculate the number of days. Where is this? Tab order, sheet properties. The sheet properties gives you that. So if I right click on this one, what happens? So I need to have a field whereby I can do the calculations. The sort, everything is there. There's a place for the field. So let me expand this a bit. Also this one, I expand it a bit. And then these days here. Access sometimes can days adding. So bookings, and then I need to put a figure to calculate. Where is this? Under headers, the report properties. This build expression code, it's not there. Yeah, I'm getting a slight challenge on getting. There's a figure for doing formula. So I'll go to create. I have to look for it. Report design, and then add an existing field. Why is this thing hiding now? It normally appears down here so that you can do the calculations. Let me remove this. Right click here. If I click here, do I have a place where I can get it? Page header, report properties. I can't figure it out. For doing the calculation of the bookings that are done. Table order, table properties, add an existing field. Under format here, it's not there. Arrange, it's not there. Report design, it's not coming. So if there was a place where after doing the calculation, let me see. Sort and grouping. This sort and grouping, we have already done that. There was this part here where what is this tab order? No, not that one. These are complicated stuff. Can I relax and get it at once? Let me call for some assistance. Austin? There's a place here where we need to do some calculations. Access. And where is this? Date and time. Title. What is the view code? Connect. So was I supposed to select one of them? After selecting one of them, I get the total tab. Is it this one here? But it's supposed to be days. And then once I click here, special effect condition, report properties. Is it properties? No. Hey, come on. Let me handle other questions before I come to this place to do bookings. So it should calculate at the end of it, formatted as an integer, and then as a label called bookings to the left. And then it displays only the name, center number as a footer, so that it appears in as a footer. So we can do the footer first, as I try to figure out how to do the calculated total number of bookings and places. So for the other part, I can come to this place called report footer. Where's the report footer? So I need to expand here a little bit. Then I put here, when you're putting, you use this label here so that you can put your name. So here I can put my name, Dennis Bay underscore. Then I can put other details they want. My center number can be KE071, and then say my index number was 045. Yeah. So after putting that, I've done that. So this one I can eliminate this. I can eliminate this one, delete, and also this one I can eliminate. So this one here, let me try and put it. Let me try and put it here, and then I preview how it looks. So I'll right click here, then I say report view. So how does it look? Does it appear on this page? It appears. The name appears there. So the other thing that I can do as I try to figure out the other one, I'll go to layout view. So layout view, you can see how the data looks. Let me see. They have got design view where I was, and there's layout view. So layout view can enable you to resize, to arrange this thing so that it fits nicely. So this one here, I can hold this one here and then resize it slowly. Not you hold it here and then you resize it so that they are not far apart. So let me resize these fields. They are moving too fast. So let me resize there. Then I come to the second one, click on it. So I'm trying to arrange my report so that it looks to somewhere there. Yeah. You try again and hold it and resize it a little bit. Make sure that they don't touch each other. So you come here again, also you resize it, and then they're too close, so you also try to arrange it nicely. This field is not visible clear, so also you resize it, and then you try and expand it so that the fields can see. That was for the date. So you come here, and then you come to the next one, also you resize it, and then you come to this one, also you resize it. It's too much, so you take it further apart. This is not very clear. I'm using this. Which field am I using? I'm using the layout view to organize my report. So you come here again, you resize it nicely, and then try and expand it so that you can see. So that's a field nicely. You come to this one also, you resize it up to somewhere there, and then expand it a little bit. And then the currency, you come here, you resize it a little bit, and then this one also you try and resize it so that it is much more clearer. Your table is more readable as a report. Right click here again, go to print preview, look at how it looks. There are some things here which are not very clear. So you go back to layout view, and then especially up here, you try and move it a little bit, and then you expand. This one also you expand so that they are clear. You have to make sure that day rate is there, and then the cost. Which other part is this one here? You can squeeze it a little bit to give this one some time. The date departure date, and then you can go back and preview report view. You see how things look like, so that your report is like this. This thing is not clear. Which one is this? First name. So you right click again, you go to layout view, first name, ensure that you expand it nicely so that they are visible. And then you can right click here, you go back to design view. So on the design view, I can click on which table can I click on? And then under report here, there's a place where I need to have the total, the one I was talking about, the one that was giving me a lot of challenge. So they talked about really I was overthinking, calculated the total number of bookings, and place it at the end of the report. So total number of bookings at the end of the report, number of bookings. So I'll click on days here, then I come to this total here, total number of bookings. So that one means I count the records, total number of bookings, total number of bookings. So total number of bookings. So I count. Is it sum? Total number of bookings. So let me count the records. So I'll click on count records. So if I say count records, where has it gone to? So let me see. Let me take this one here. Then where was I? Was I in report view? Then I come here. I say count records. So it was supposed to. It is here now. It's here. This is the count. It will count the total number of records, and then after that, they were saying it should have a label written total bookings to the left. So when I'm here now, I'll come and take this is the label. Then I put it on the left here like this, and then inside it should have this text here. This question has really made me overthink, yet I knew how to do it, but I don't know what I was overthinking. Then Control V. So this one here, total number of bookings. I'll come to home, I play around. I wanted to give it some bold and whatever, but it cannot. So total number of bookings. So what I'll do, I'll just resize it a bit, but it's on the left side. So I can now give it bold and increase the size a little bit. It has given me a lot of problems. Let me give it color red because it was not that easy. There it is. So I've made a report based on all these conditions. So display your name on the footer. Make sure that no other data is displayed in the footer. It appears in the footer, and then this one appears, and then the heading is that one, the orientation is that one. So let me go back to my report. I see how it looks like. So I'll come here, and then I go to report view. So under report view, if I move down here, so the total number of bookings is 13. So it has calculated, and my footer, that is my footer. So this is a report, but this report, it is not very smart. There are some things here which are not readable. So that is where my worry is. So I should go to a place called layout view and ensure. So this is the title. This title should move up to somewhere. The title is a small thing. And then this one here, first name, this first name also. Where's the last name? This first name. Sorry, let me undo. Control Z. you have to play around with this part. So this one here also should move so that it is just on top of this one here, like that. Yeah, you have to make sure that all the fields are very clear so that the report can be read. You can use control and was it control? Let me see. Is it alt and control to nudge? So if you click here, see if let me try. Yeah, nudging. So I'm using what is called nudging. Alt, and then I use the arrow keys. Last name is this one here. So I'll also nudge alt key, then I use the so that I move it up to somewhere there. Is it moving? That is not moving. So let me just drag it. I drag it up to somewhere there. That is the last name, and then I resize it up to there. So when it is here now, let me see, I have to click on it nicely like this. Can I try now nudging? Yeah, it's not moving there I want. So I'll just drag it a little bit, make sure that it is there like that, take it up a bit, and then this one here I resize it up to somewhere here. The first name, I ensure that it fits nicely up to somewhere there. This one I expand it a bit so that it can be seen, and then the telephone number, which was this one here, I make sure that I resize it first, and then I bring it to the place where it should be, telephone number, a little bit on this side, and then the patch, this is the date. The date should be somewhere here. So also this one, I resize them a bit so that they fit nicely. Telephone number should move up to somewhere there. And then the departure port, also I bring it there so that you fix your report nicely. And then this one here should move a little bit. Make sure it's somewhere there. The yacht name, also this yacht name, you have to play around. I'm on a place called layout view. So layout view enables me now to rearrange my report nicely, resize this up to somewhere there. These ones also resize them so that the others will get also space. And then the length, this length, remember the length we were doing with 2 decimals, like this one here, try and group them somewhere there. Make sure that you resize nicely, they don't overlap. And then days, also make sure it is somewhere there. These days to move somewhere here, somewhere there, make sure that they are visible. Day rate, also move it somewhere there with the amount next to it. Make sure that you resize it nicely so that the figures can be seen. The new field that we made was this one here, and the figures are there. So you can also move, undo, Control Z. So resize it a little bit and then make sure that it is somewhere there. And then these figures also, you put them on this side and resize so that they fit nicely. So I can see my report is now, it's now looking a bit organized. So this one here, I can move it up to somewhere near the date. And then this one here, the first name, this title, it should move a little bit on the side. And then this one here, I resize it up to somewhere here. And then I drag it because those are just initials. Then this one, I ensure that I expand it up to there. Then this one here, this one reaches there, and this one reaches here. So also this first name a little bit on this side, a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. So let me see, Alt, and it's not moving there once, so I drag it a little bit. Yeah, this is how you play with your tables. So there it is. So let me preview how it looks. I save it, and then after saving, I click on report. So that is how it looks. These fields are not well aligned, but it's good you play around until they're well aligned. So these are your records. So it fits in one page. There's a calculated field, which means there were 13 bookings. This question here about here, as a total, calculate the total number of bookings. Total number of bookings. Let us go to the table and see the table for booking. And then, are they talking about somebody was in are they talking about bookings, the total, or the you count? But the report, the query has got how many days? 13. And my report has got 13. So I think I'm correct. The number of days is correct. Unless otherwise, it was asking you calculate. Let me see. Days of booking. Okay, if it is days of booking, is it 10 plus 15 plus 10 plus 12 plus 13? If it is that one, then what we should do, we go to design view, and then on the design view, we click on days, and then we click here, we get the sum. So if we get the sum, so sum is here. So if it is sum they are asking for, so I'll put it somewhere here, and then I bring these bookings on the left here, and then I save it, and then I go to report, so that when we check here, it will give us total bookings is 164. So I think I've tried my level best, but the thing that I've not arranged nicely is this part whereby you're supposed to be on the layout view, and then now you try and play around with these figures here, so that you can be able to arrange it nicely. This part here, especially the heading part, it was giving me a lot of challenge, so that it is well arranged, so that they're well organized. That was the difficult part. Date is slightly up, so if you press Alt and you take it down a little bit, there's a problem that is giving me, but it was supposed to be well arranged. If you have a nice mouse, you can really, that's why I insist, when you're doing access, you must have a mouse. Using the touchpad is not the best. So it looks now well organized. I can see it's coming. This Isaac here should slightly go up a little bit. No, just so that they're together. Yeah, you play around with the one until you make it look nice. Even this date should be slightly up. No, not that much. Just a little bit down here. Yeah, this is access, so you try and align it nicely. So this one here should slightly move down a little bit, something like that, and then like that, and then you save it, and then you preview, report preview. Yeah, now it's much better. So this is your report, and your report, there's a calculated field here, total bookings, which has got 164. I think now I'm correct, and my name appears down there, my center number, my candidate number. So I've done these conditions which are down here. So you save and you print. Make sure there's no other data on the footer. There was no other data, I removed them. So the total bookings on the left with the value, the heading is there, it fits in a single page, yeah, wide. It fits in a single page wide and prints in two pages. This one, is it in 2 pages really? What do they mean by 2 pages? It fits in 2 pages and it is wide. So when you'll be printing, you'll be able to give it that command. So the print preview, that's what it's giving me. Mine is fitting in 1 page, so maybe here there's an issue. But the rest of the things I've done it. So that one will give you, make sure that you entered, and then take a screenshot evidence showing the formula used to calculate the total number of booking, or total number. Yeah, total number you don't count, you say sum. So they want us to put a formula, an evidence that we did that. So I'll go back to my access, then I go to design view. So under design view, I'll go down here. So this is what they want me to take a picture. So I'll come here, Control Shift. I take a picture of this. And then I go to Microsoft Word. Now here, they want to see the formula. They wanted to see my formula. So calculated field, let's just call it calculated field. So Control V. Then I'll click on save. So that marks the end of my video. I was doing a paper, although I've not finished it, because here there were some other things they were asking. But what my intention for this video was to be able to teach you how to import files. After importing files, you give it conditions, you match the condition that it should be imported, how it should be imported. If the date should be like this, you have to do it. And if the length also decimal places, how to work with decimal places, and then how to prepare evidence documents, how to create relationship between two tables that you have imported, and then from the two tables you create a query, and then from the query you have a final refined whatever that you get from the two queries, and then how to create a report, and even how to add a record to a table, a particular record. So we have learned something, how to handle this part, especially this part. You start with this part, you handle this part here. After handling this part here, you do the criteria that they want. After doing the criteria, you also do a calculated field here. And then you make sure the decimal place you work with. And then you go, you make sure you meet all these conditions. The report must have a title. So where is my report again? So if I come here, double click here, that is my report. So that is the report. The decimals were made, everything. The CC is there, everything. And then there's a calculated field down there showing the bookings, total bookings. So it was a video which was so much packed with a lot of commands. But if you watch it and watch it and watch it, you'll be able to understand this concept. They always remains the same. The concept remains the same. Remember, 0 decimal places for the currency symbol. So I believe my viewers will understand that access sometimes, if you overthink, the errors of overthinking on a certain question here, you can get stranded a bit. But if you relax and be calm, you can be able to do this part here. This was the most technical part here. But I managed to do it towards the end. So I hope this video is going to help you understand that Microsoft Access is a database application that has got 4 major components. And the 4 major components I've already explained when I was introducing my video. The 4 major components are tables, queries, forms, and reports. And in this video, I've dealt with tables very nicely. I've dealt with queries and I've dealt with reports. What I've not dealt with is forms. And tables stores your data in your database. Queries ask questions about the information stored in your tables. Forms allows you to view data stored in your tables and also to append more records. Reports allows you to print data based on the query or tables that you have created. So that is Microsoft Access. Thank you for watching. I'll create other videos on Access, especially down here I can see there are things like labels, how to play around with labels and how to play around with the forms. So thank you for watching. Your viewing is my inspiration. So keep watching my videos and thank you for now.